Rādhā, 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 Rādhā. Okay, so we're going to do some more blog entries. So we have 2 more short ones, so I'm going to combine them again. Just to keep it flowing in that kind of way. All right, so these are still around a year ago, exactly. Wow, it's amazing we're staying on course with exactly a year ago. Wow. And in the same town still. I'm still in Seattle as well. Okay, so here we go. Blog entry 147 from 11/1 of 2024. Okay, so last night I had this experience of a connection in my lower abdomen, almost like a plug being engaged. I remember it was really a strong feeling. And today I feel more connected in a broader way, like everything was more alive, like 3D, or just like that high-def television as opposed to the regular television or the black and white television. That's a terrible example, but that's the best one I can think of, because everything as I was perceiving it was so much more. It's nothing overwhelming so far, but I wanted to document it before I forgot. Tonight I'm going with a new friend here in Seattle, my first friend in Seattle at the time. Awesomeness. To a kirtan at a downtown yoga studio. We'll see how it goes. Apparently he does kirtan in the area. It feels like Krishna is starting to move things in a visible way, and I want to make sure that I focus on pleasing Krishna each step of the way. Last night I also had my first experience of a movie affecting my consciousness in a way my teacher sometimes warned about. It was a strange movie, and I probably should have stopped watching it. Still, it lingered in my dreams and influenced my consciousness well into this morning. Normally I would just focus on the fact that it isn't real, but this time it affected me more deeply than ever before, though the movie itself wasn't particularly good. This has shown me that I'll need to be more careful with what I'm watching as I move forward. What I found out after this one is there's different levels of material energy in different movies. So it depends on how they're made and whatever is put in them. Oftentimes you can watch older shows like any of the black and white ones or Leave It to Beaver or whatever kind of shows, and they're energetically cleaner in some ways, but some of the newer stuff has some really heavy, grabby material energy to it. And what was happening here was I had that plug experience in the meditation, that feeling of connecting and moving to like a new level, but my system hadn't fully reintegrated and got the little bubble of like protection and seal around it kind of thing. So I was still kind of porous energetically, so I was picking things up more than I realized. So it was the combination of the two things. So the thing to keep in mind is if you're going through a transition and your energy system is a bit more porous because you need to integrate and things like that, or if there's a shift in your practice or something, just know that if you watch a movie or something like that and it's in your dreams or something, or just the material energy of it just sticks to you more, it's okay. It happens. So just in your devotion and, just do your devotion, focus on loving God, and Rādhā and Krishna will clear it out. It's not a problem in that way. The biggest thing is just know that whenever you have a shift happen and that porous feeling in your energy system, you're more susceptible to it more than likely. So normally it's not a problem. So it's not something to be afraid of and to run away from, but it's just something to have knowledge about in case that's your experience. So you have an idea of what to do and how to do it and what's going on. Okay, cool. So that was the first blog entry. And now here's the second blog entry. Here we go. We'll do it again. Rādhā, 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 Rādhā. Okay, cool. All right. Blog entry 148 from 11/3 of 2024. Here we go. Okay, here's what I've learned since my last journal entry. The whole sit and focus on Krishna practice is very real. Krishna fills your energy system with his energy, and that energy flows out in every interaction or event afterwards. You can feel a little like a raisin drained if you've given a lot. If you skip the super early morning meditation to recharge, the whole day afterwards can feel you're running on empty with a subtle edge in everything you do. Okay, so at this point, I was trying to understand the flow of Krishna conscious energy and Krishna being with me. And so he would come in the morning and he would like supercharge my system. And then all that Krishna energy would just go out throughout the day. So it could just be, as I walk through a room, it could jump off and go to the person it needs to go to. It could be one-on-one interaction. It could be hanging out with a friend or a person and talking about Krishna, and all the energy goes to the one person. So there would be a lot of variations of where it would go and what it would do. And now it'll start like a few days before, like an event or something going on. And now it gathers even more, which is really interesting. And now it happens more automatically. In this one, if I skip the morning meditation, well, actually, let me keep reading this blog entry because I think I touch on this. Here we go. Back to the blog entry. I used to think extra sleep would help more than sitting in meditation, especially since my current meditations aren't always peaceful or fun. They're full of angels pulling and stretching my energy system while giving feedback on the previous day, both good and mostly what I should consider doing better. That's still often as I move forward. Rādhā also provides strong guidance on how to hold the experience in the moment fully. See, this is really interesting here because we often think, like, if we're trying to hold something in a different way, just in how we think about it, right? So generally we'll be like, it's a beautiful day, everything's fine, everything's good, everything's good, everything's good. And in a certain amount of effort and such, it does make a difference. But what Rādhā was showing me here in this moment especially was how when I think of something, I just have to hold it differently in my thoughts, which is more subtle but really powerful, and it makes a big difference. And okay, so here's an example. Think about a relationship that you have that kind of rubs you the wrong way at times, right? And so feel when you think about that relationship in your mind, okay? You'll feel it in your body, and you'll feel your body tense up, depending on how much it rubs you wrong. It's easier to use one that doesn't rub you completely wrong, but it works either way. Rubbing you wrong some or a little, either way, it works. So you feel it in your body, and then it starts from there, right? But if you actively hold it in your mind differently when you start to think of it, it shifts how you respond to it in your body and in your feelings about it. And so let's, like in this example here, I was feeling super pushed and super purified by choosing to take this path. So in my head, I'm like, oh, here we go, blah, 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 blah. See, as soon as it comes, it starts that journey down and down and down. And then it would start chipping away at bliss and things I'm feeling inside, only because how I'm holding it in my mind. And it's true about how we hold all our thoughts in our mind. So those relationships that are heavier or tougher or rub you the wrong way, if you start changing how you hold it in your mind, it'll help it affect you less. Because what'll happen is the way we hold that in our mind, it kicks off our emotions and our thoughts and our energy to protect ourselves or going away to get defensive or whatever. It's really subtle, but it makes a huge difference. So I'm not saying to not take care of yourself. That's not the point here at all. That's why it's easier to use it with a relationship that just kind of bugs you but doesn't drive you crazy, like maybe a friend or something or a family member. But the thing is, if you just notice that subtle shift in just how you hold it in your mind, maybe in the form of detachment, so in saying, putting space in that response to anticipating how it's going to be. I don't know. It's just really subtle. And you can play with that in meditation, just how you hold thoughts in your mind and the feeling around them and the judging right and wrong in your mind about these certain thoughts. There's, it just starts a whole chain of events inside of you that, that really helps if it doesn't happen. Because if you can hold the thoughts in neutrality, then you can respond from a place of neutrality. So it's easier to take care of yourself. You have less emotions coming up. You have less distortions in how we perceive what's going on around us through previous interactions and suffering and things, and it can make a huge difference. Okay, sorry. So that's a huge sidetrack right there. But here we go. So we'll go back to the blog entry. We'll get this finished up. I used to think extra sleep would help more than sitting in meditation. Okay. It's important to remember that I chose this path, this pursuit of Krishna's divine love, and that it was my own longing for him that brought me here. See, this is the part I was talking about. I still need to learn how to hold it properly and stay solid in my decision to pursue it. So this is what Rādhā was really teaching me. And so it was really helpful, and it's amazing the impact of it. Regardless of the outcome on many levels, my choice to pursue this path towards Krishna's love and to grow closer to Krishna. And so if you have a chance in your meditation and in your practice, explore the way that we hold thoughts and feel how it affects you differently and how you can interact differently with whatever relationship you're choosing. So, all right. Sorry about it if I took off rambling, and I hope it helps, and I hope you have a great day. And Rādhā, 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 Rādhā.